Hello, this is Diana. This is my Trailblazers of the Universe YouTube channel. On my channel, I am activating your personal, spiritual, and healing evolution. If that sounds good to you, make sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. Today's video is another inspirational message for someone who is struggling to adapt to changes. Are you going to go with the flow of change or against it? Abraham Hicks has a good analogy about going downstream with the flow as opposed to upstream when we are seeking to get into vibrational alignment with our manifestations, desired reality, best highest self. That's the same for life in general. Sometimes we're so used to being on the struggle bus, the fight or flight mode, survival mode, that even when we have gone on a healing journey, spiritual journey, personal growth journey, the life journey, sometimes it's hard for us to believe that it could be that easy, that things could work out easily for us. There can be a lot of things that can happen in your life that can impact what you believe is possible for you, and can even put you in like a fear state where you want to resist change. Some of this is self-sabotage. Your nervous system is used to being in that fight or flight mode, in that survival mode, or used to bad things happening to you, chaotic events. Sometimes we're so used to that we resist change, or we're not going with the flow. We're so used to that struggle and that chaos that we actually make it harder for ourselves. And then when we resist change, we are resisting our own evolution. With the frequency shift that's going on the planet, the Great Awakening, a lot of people are being forced to look at their shadow, being forced to make changes, being made very aware of what is not in alignment with your highest or best self. Some of them stick out like a sore thumb. The more inner work you do, more of awakening you have, right? The more it's become obvious what's not in alignment. I think it's becoming very hard to ignore these things now. They're being highlighted as like a big light is shining on it. And that's what we talk about light. Light is awareness. So awareness, sometimes it's not fun to be aware of things that are holding us back in our lives, especially if we have attachments to them. These could be people, could be toxic patterns that we're even addicted to, could be talking about substances or addictions, could be talking about just a way of thinking or just a way of being. A lifestyle is not resonating anymore. And it can feel very uncomfortable to change, right? Your subconscious wants to keep you safe and protected, doesn't like change, wants to go by the programming, the normal patterns, what matches your belief systems, right? So if you're trying to do something outside of your belief systems, outside of your programming, we've all been programmed at some level, right? Whether it's through school, media, parents, family, politicians. A lot of people are being forced to look at the shadow. What's done in the dark has come to light. And sometimes what's being illuminated is not pretty. It can be very dark, even discouraging. And it's okay to feel these feelings. It's perfectly okay to feel exactly how you feel. It's okay to feel lost and have no idea what direction you want to go. A lot of people are going through a dark night of the soul. Anything that's part of their identity, belief systems, or just a way of being that is not in alignment with your highest self, best self, optimal timeline will often fall apart. It's basically to help redirect you. It can feel like everything's crashing and burning, right? It's trying to redirect you to where you need to go. So you need to have the roadblocks. You need to have the detours. You need to have the heartbreaks. You need to have the misery even. Because that's what's needed to get your attention. Going back to my earlier analogy, you're trying to swim upstream, the waves might even pull you under. You might get stuck on that river, right? Instead of just going downstream with the flow, the waves could be rough. It might seem a little bit scary, but that current is going to take you somewhere. You're actually going somewhere instead of being stuck and struggling against the wave. To go downstream, it requires more surrender. Trusting the process, trusting the universe. I don't know where this wave is going to take me, but this feels easier just to relax and let me just float on this wave a little bit. Hopefully it takes me to where I need to go. And if it doesn't, maybe I learned something in the process. Maybe I have an adventure. Maybe that's part of it. It's the journey. Some people are so focused on the destination that they forget about the journey. Who are they becoming in the process? Sometimes who you become in the process is so much greater than even the end goal or the destination that once you realize that, the goal almost doesn't even matter anymore. Because you're flowing with life, you're in alignment. And when you're in alignment, Going downstream, like Abraham Hicks says, life becomes more magical. You're getting more in alignment with the flow state. The tides are turning in life, right? A lot of people are being forced to make very difficult decisions. Maybe you're at a crossroad of some sort. When in doubt, and when you don't know which direction to choose, which is more of downstream, which is more of flow, which is less of the struggle. Sometimes it's just letting go of these attachments to these maybe unrealistic expectations. Maybe it's taking the pressure off yourself to have to be somewhere all the time, have to do this, have to meet this goal, have to achieve this. And a lot of that is the society programming that we talk about. So today, and really every day, how can you go more downstream? How can you surrender more today? How can you let go more today? How can you trust the process more? Whatever feels like a struggle, feels like more resistance, how can you let that go? Might be by focusing on something else. When I think about going downstream, I think about how can I make choices in my life that are making me feel more expansive, flowing, rather than restricted, constricted. Make choices that are more in alignment with that, so that you can go with the flow of the wave of your life instead of going against it. And you will start to see positive changes in your life when you do this. But you have to be willing to let go and get a little uncomfortable. But remember, growth only happens outside of our comfort zones. That's all I have for today. If you like this content, hit those like and subscribe buttons. I also have a Facebook group, Instagram, TikTok, and 2 podcasts. The links are in this video description. I also offer coaching, so if you need intuitive guidance to help motivate and support you on your personal growth, spiritual, and or healing journeys, my contact information is in this video description. Have a good day. Namaste.